Hello everyone, this is day 13, and today I have March 16 Indian Express newspaper, and I have seen a few important article again on the explained page of this newspaper. So there are three important article, that is a atmospheric research test bed, more chemicals in plastic than previously estimated, and Gaganyaan. And there is another important article regarding artificial intelligence, that European Union has bring a law on artificial intelligence. So if time permits, we will read that article also. But before going to that, we should read that atmospheric research test bed, a facility to observe and study weather parameters linked to India's monsoon and monsoon core zone. So the first phase of the India's research test bed in central India was inaugurated on March 12 at Silkheda village in Madhya Pradesh, Sihor district. The 100-acre facility houses 25 high-end meteorological instruments for studying vital cloud processes associated with India's monsoon core zone. So, what is atmospheric research test bed? So, ART, that is atmospheric research test bed, is an open field focused observational and analytical research program. The facility aims to conduct ground based observation for weather parameters like temperature and wind speeds, and on site observations of the transient synoptic systems like low pressure areas and depression forming in the Bay of Bengal during the southwest monsoon season from June to September. So developed by the Ministry of Earth Sciences, though this is an important thing to note down. Has been developed by the Ministry of Earth Sciences at a cost of rupees 125 crore. The Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, is in charge of its operations. So what is why is the MCZ? What was MCZ? That is monsoon core zone. Why it is important? So much of the Indian agriculture is rain fed. Obviously, we know that is as is cultivation among the MCZ, that spans the central India region from Gujarat to West Bengal. The southwest monsoon season accounts for 70% of the country's annual average rainfall, that is 880 millimeter. It is also when the majority of the kharif cultivation is undertaken. During this season, several rain bearing atmospheric systems develop in the Bay of Bengal. Studies have correlated the all India rainfall performances to the rainfall received over the central India region, highlighting its importance. So, central India therefore acts as a natural laboratory for scientists and meteorologists to perform a hands on study of Indian monsoons. So, they can record data and make observation about the alleged systems, clouds, and other associated physical and atmospheric parameters. So, Silkheda falls directly in line with the path of major rain bearing synoptic systems. Besides, this area is relatively free of pollutants, making it suitable for setting up sensitive high-end meteorological instrument and observatories. So this is important to note down that this has been made in the Silkheda village in the Madhya Pradesh Sihor district. So this can be asked in several small state pieces exams. So that is it from this article. So more chemicals in plastic than previously formed. So this is another important article that can be leaved that can be left, not leaved, sorry. So the important article which is on this page, which is Gaganyaan, related to Gaganyaan, and why its success, what its success will mean for Indian science. So this article is written by Amitabh Sinha. So India earlier this month revealed the names of the four Air Force officers selected for the Gaganyaan mission, the country's maiden attempt at sending humans into space. Scheduled for launch next year, the mission would have the first Indian astronaut in 40 years and the first ones to go on an Indian spacecraft. Just three countries, the USA, Russia, which is formerly the USSR, and China, have executed human space flight missions till now. A successful mission would be ISRO's ultimate demonstration of capability. But Gaganyaan holds a much bigger significance for the Indian science in general. So, what are the stake in space technologies? More than 600 people from about 50 different countries have traveled to space till now. However, for a country to execute human space flight mission is still a novelty. With a renewed interest in going back to the moon, this time for resource extraction and building a colony, a big rush in human spaceflight missions is expected in the coming decades. Countries are making almost a fresh start this time using newer materials and technologies. So, becoming an active participant in this new age space exploration would ensure access to rights, resources, and new technologies. India could then build expertise and opportunities for these technologies early adoption. Further, India wants to ensure that it gains access and control over novel technologies that might become uh, critical for economic growth in the future. So, space programs in the past have also resulted in hundreds of important spin off technologies, including some breakthrough interventions in the health and medicine sector like magnetic resonance imaging, that is MRI, heart implants, and advanced water filtration. Sustaining a human space flight program that would force the development of science and technology ecosystem. This would help ensure that India never again ends up at the receiving end of the technology denial regimes. So, avoiding tech denial. So, India has suffered in the past because of the technology denial policies of the other countries who have often used access to technology as an arm twisting measure. For example, in the 1990s, the USA denied India cryogenic technology that is critical for powering rockets. This slowed down India's program. This slowed down India's program by almost 2 decades. After India conducted its nuclear test in 1998, even basic parts like certain kinds of transistor and semiconductors were denied due to economic sanctions. At that time, several scientists had impressed upon the government the need for technological independence. This was part of the reason why the Manmohan Singh government staked everything on the India US civilian nuclear deal that lifted the freeze on several critical technologies. However, this did not end the dependence on foreign technologies. The COVID 19 pandemic comes as another shock when it was realized that even basic items like personal protective equipment, that is PPE kits, and medicines needed to be procured from abroad. Many of India's requests were turned down. The insistence on developing vaccines at home was a response to this desperate situation. Since then, the government has become more active in pushing for indigenization, capacity building, and the domestic manufacture of new age technologies, particularly in strategic sectors like defense, space, communication, and energy. New projects announced. What are the new projects announced? In the last couple of years, the government has announced separate missions on green hydrogen, quantum computing, and last week on intelligence. A national policy on deep tech is on the anvil. India has joined some of the biggest international scientific projects like the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, that is LIGO. Okay, so LIGO's full form is Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, and the Square Kilometer Array, which would involve building several facilities within the country. In the interim budget this year, the government announced the setting up of rupees 1 lakh crore fund to provide long-term, low-cost to zero-interest loans for research and development. It also promised to launch a new scheme for promoting deep tech capabilities in the defense sector. The repeated request to foreign companies to set up manufacturing facilities within India for chips and semiconductors vital for the sort of electronics also serve the same purpose. The human space flight and advanced space programs add another dimension to the imperative. The science community in general has been welcoming of these initiatives. However, it has pointed out that these are just a small part of the structural reforms needed to significantly improve the quality and quantity of India's science output. Scientists say that the initiative may lose steam unless there is a sustained attention and engagement, and some issues in science education and research are addressed. So India fares pretty poorly on most research indicators, and available resources, both human and capital, might not be the adequate for putting the country to the path to becoming a technology powerhouse. So India has the lowest research intensity in the among the G20 nation, that is around 0.7%, that is 0.65% to be accurate, uh, of the GDP. And India needs to improve the research intensity and invest more in research and development in order to become a technology powerhouse, as this article is suggesting India to be, because depending on foreign technology might be harmful in cases like that we have seen during 1998 economic sanctions, and in the 1990s that cryogenic technology was denied to India, and the India's space mission was fairly gone back to 2 decades, and India needs another 2 decades to develop that technology on its own. So India needs to heavily invest in research and development programs to get rid of these kinds of situation, and make India a technology powerhouse in real sense. So that is all from today's uh, March 16th newspaper. So we will see again March 17th newspaper soon. Thank you.